This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
An alleged racially motivated attack at Lake Monroe in Bloomington. Tonight we talked to the man who says he was almost lynched and how the city of Bloomington is responding.
An IPS commissioner with a new plan to address discipline disparities. I'm Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny with why some leaders say black students need our attention.
Health concerns about trash and waste around downtown working for you. We are finding out what's exactly happening and what is being done to fix this problem.
Coming here and seeing that the house caught on fire for a second time. And it destroyed a lot more than was previously destroyed.
A family loses everything after fireworks caused a massive fire at their home tonight. How a church is stepping up to help. Welcome into the news at 6. I'm Amanda Starrentino. Mark Mullins has the night off. First at 6, hot and humid weather is sparking storms with heavy rain and lightning. We need to get right to Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory with the forecast. Hey, Kevin.
And that heavy rain comes in a very short period of time. That weather now camera you were looking at, you can see the streaks of the heavier rain there. These are isolated storms, but able to produce up to an inch in an hour's period of time and 40-mile-per-hour gusts. Most of the action recently has been in the western half of Marion County, just to the west of downtown to Speedway, and then also eastern Hendricks County. This is a growing area of thunderstorms just to the southwest of Avon, another northwest then of Brownsburg. This fizzled over Castleton and Geist, but as a result of the heavy rainfall from eastern Hendricks County across right the heart of Marion County, an inch or more of rain has fallen in the last hour, a flood advisory until 7:15. Look at the rest of central Indiana. Very dry. And if you're watching these thunderstorms hoping they're going to pay a visit to your house, I know how frustrating it gets when they're so close, but you don't quite get the rain. If you don't this evening, look at the chances the next several days. The most widespread rain threat will return on Friday. Also, a temperature change to report. It may be brief, but you'll notice it coming up.
An Indianapolis Public Schools commissioner is proposing changes to address discipline disparities in our classrooms. It's a problem Call 6 Investigates brought to light last fall that black students are more likely to get suspended, expelled, and even arrested at school. Our Kara Kenny joins us now with the new plan underway.
73% of IPS students are children of color, both black and Hispanic, yet they make up 84% of out-of-school suspensions. One IPS commissioner says that needs to change. It's a problem Call 6 Investigates first exposed in November. Indiana ranks 4th highest in the country when it comes to the rate of out-of-school suspensions for black teens in middle and high school. The disparity is happening with arrests in Indiana schools as well. State data shows black students make up 12% of the state student population, yet they comprise 26% of arrests on school property. IPS Commissioner Vanita Moore's proposal would require all IPS police officers attend racial equity training and ensure IPS prohibits employing officers with a history of excessive force or discrimination complaints.
I think we need to talk about how we get security to work with our students so that we can de-escalate many of the things that some of the things that occur in our school. I think we need to advocate for our children so that they can learn how to advocate for themselves.
She said George Floyd and the resulting protests prompted her to take action.
I had opportunity to go to 2 of the rallies and thinking about where our kids are and some of the things that happen to our African-American male students in our school.
This school-to-prison pipeline study shows Indiana students who get in trouble at school are more likely to get arrested and end up in prison.
That prison pipeline, that's for real. And so a lot of our children, they get branded by the 3rd grade. And so if we don't make a difference, if people will continue when they walk down the street to see our black men walk behind them, our black young men walk behind, they're going to grab their purse.
Call 6 Investigates found some possible reasons for the state's discipline disparity, including zero-tolerance policies that don't take into account why students behave a certain way, implicit bias among teachers and administrators, and black students are more likely to attend schools that don't have the resources to deal with student behavior. Commissioner Moore's plan would launch a curriculum review, including civil rights education and training for students.
I believe if they begin to understand and learn how to advocate for themselves more properly, then some of these things will be eliminated.
Commissioner Moore plans to work with the administration to address disproportionate suspension and expulsion rates and come up with a plan within the next 90 days. Reporting in Indianapolis, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
And we've reached out to the IPS superintendent, and we are still waiting to hear back. A family who lost everything in a fire over the weekend says their faith in humanity has been restored, thanks to Hoosiers helping them through this trying time. Troy Washington is working for you to show how a fireworks accident has brought a community together.
You hear about it every fourth, somebody getting hurt or injured or there being a fire, and it really hit home for us.
This family lost everything in a fire caused by fireworks on Saturday.
It was scary. It was very scary. Fireworks are a very powerful thing, and something that professionals are the ones who need to handle them. I think this has been a very big learning lesson in general with fireworks.
RTV6 was there as the couple pulled back into their driveway to find that flames reignited on Monday morning, causing even more damage to the already badly burned duplex.
Early this morning, around 3 o'clock, we just seen about 15 fire trucks come through. So we get out, we come down and see it blazing.
We're coming here and seeing that the house caught on fire for a second time. And that's, it destroyed a lot more than was previously destroyed.
Once the 10 barges got back out to see for themselves, the site left them speechless, but thankful still.
One of the most incredible things was when all this was happening, and everything that's going on in the world right now, the camaraderie from the neighbors and the people in the apartment complex.
In fact, I-Town Church even connected with the family to lend a hand.
We have a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 19-month-old. Our 19-month-old he's our little blessing. He had a rough start to life. He's got a G-tube, as well as some other physical limitations. And so, just losing medical supplies, that's been hard. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and, we had a lot of medical stuff.
Medical supplies. The church now has plans to try to replace for the family.
Certainly restores our faith in humanity given the last few months.
All the text calls and the genuine concern just lets this family know that people still care and Hoosiers want to help. Working for you on the Northeast Side, Troy Washington, RTV6.
The Red Cross has also been assisting the family. A look now at how COVID-19 continues to impact Indiana. The State Department of Health confirms 330 new cases of COVID-19. That is 266 fewer cases than yesterday. And one reason for the decrease could be because there were only 4,912 people newly tested for the coronavirus. Yesterday, the state reported more than 9,500 new tests. The Department of Health also reports 5 new COVID-19 deaths. That is down from 6 deaths yesterday. So far, 2,505 Hoosiers have died from the coronavirus. The state says in total, more than 526,000 people have been tested for COVID-19, and 9.2% of them tested positive for the virus. And a bit of good news here, the number of people hospitalized in Indiana from COVID-19 has decreased. As of yesterday, 613 people were in the hospital due to the coronavirus. That's down from 637 people on July 4th and 632 people on the 3rd. And the Indiana Fever announced the team has delayed their departure to Bradenton, Florida, after 2 players recently tested positive for COVID-19. The Fever season is supposed to start in Florida toward the end of the month. The team is now scheduled to arrive at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida later this week after the WNBA and league health officials make sure all players and staff are as healthy and as safe as possible. The Fever did not release the names of the 2 players who tested positive for the coronavirus. A man says he was almost lynched over the July 4th weekend at Lake Monroe in Bloomington. He says a group of people physically assaulted and threatened him using racially charged language. Call 6 Investigates Stephanie Wade spoke to the alleged victim and found out how the city of Bloomington is responding.
The mayor of Bloomington tonight is condemning what he saw in a series of videos that has now gone viral, shared thousands of times. The videos that show several men holding a black man against a tree with his arms behind his back, allegedly threatening to lynch him.
Guys, get the f*** out of here. Let him go. Get your phones out of here and go. Shake your head at me and go. Get the out of here.
To be pinned down at the tree and to hear him yell at his friend, get a noose, not even get a rope, but get a noose with so much intent and the connotation that carries in our society, I knew that my life was in danger.
In disbelief is how Vox Booker says he felt when men were seen holding him against his will, shouting white power and other racial slurs.
You nappy-headed.
What do you want to call me?
About this? You with your 5 white friends? You stupid liberal.
There was a moment where a white woman that was standing by yelled out not to kill me. And as I was underneath these men struggling to breathe, I realized that she was talking about me, not to kill me.
Booker says he and some friends went to watch the lunar eclipse on the 4th of July at Lake Monroe. A group of men informed them the route they were taking to get to the public access beach was on private property. But then things got hostile, leaving Booker with a minor concussion, abrasions, and patches of hair ripped out.
What went through my mind is I could be the next person like that, or I could be that next hashtag.
What saved his life, he says, were his friends, along with bystanders that heard the commotion and demanded the attackers let him go, refusing to leave.
But they stayed. It made the difference. I wasn't going to be a black person that died and heard my own death narrated in front of me.
I am horrified, not surprised, but disgusted.
My heart is breaking for our town. This is Bloomington. And I know people like to say that things like that don't happen in Bloomington. They do. They happen a lot.
Booker called the police and the Department of Natural Resources came, but no arrests were made at the scene.
But it is not ironic that this would happen the weekend of Independence Day. We have to do the work in order for all people to truly be free.
In Bloomington, I'm Call 6 Investigates' Stephanie Wade.
And DNR says its law enforcement division is working with the Monroe County Prosecutor's Office on the investigation to, quote, ensure a lawful resolution. Now, to view the Bloomington Mayor's full statement, visit our website at theindychannel.com. And in response to this alleged racist incident in Bloomington, protesters have gathered near the Monroe County Courthouse. This is a live look at that area. Those protesters are calling for the arrest of the group accused of assault in this case. As we mentioned, no arrests have been made at this time.
It's the day after race weekend, and now the countdown is on to the Indy 500. I'm Brad Brown at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll take a look back at IndyCar, NASCAR, in their historic doubleheader coming up on RTV6.
And Speedway is one of the spots that had some heavy rain this afternoon. Now just south of Plainfield, near Avon, and up to Pittsburgh. Take a radar tour and show you a change in the pattern coming up.
Apply online today. This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
We followed a typical pattern today, haven't we? Just like yesterday, you heat up, thunderstorms bubble up, producing some heavy rain. Not for everyone, but where it rains, it pours. Temperatures again made it into the low 90s today. They're starting to see cracks in this pattern where late week we'll see some changes, but next 3 days solidly in the lower 90s with these afternoon thunderstorms. As we get to Friday, the changes start to arrive. I just want to point out, as far as the humidity is concerned, we'll stay at the top of the scale next 3 days or so. I'll highlight here the weekend. The humidity comes down a bit and the temperature will fall as well. Friday, we begin the trend. Friday is probably the most likely day that we'll have more widespread thunderstorms. If you've been frustrated by watching rain go all around you, not saying it won't happen again, but at least your opportunity is greatest on Friday. As we go to the weekend, 88 Saturday, Sunday temperature of 86. That's some relief. Low temperatures will be in the 60s. At first glance, not a lot going on here. As we zoom in toward Indianapolis, we've got a north-south line of some showers and thunderstorms in Hendricks County. This is all faded. It produced an inch of rain or more portions of Marion County. It's dying out over Speedway now. From Pittsburgh down to Avon, some rain just north of Plainfield as well. And then this cell here producing heavy rain between Mooresville and Monrovia. It will drift a little bit to the north and east, but as each one of these fades, it helps build another. What will stop that cycle will be cooling this evening. As the sun gets lower on the horizon and we cool off, temperatures will drop. Rain, 75 degrees as a result in Indianapolis. Well, it's 93 in Sullivan and in Bloomington. Temperature 87 in Greenfield, where you've been dry this afternoon. There's your daily chance for thunderstorms. The most likely time, as I mentioned, will arrive on Friday. Tomorrow, about 1 o'clock, we'll begin to see these thunderstorms bubble up once again. Temperatures move into the lower 90s. As far as the 1 o'clock hour, isolated thunderstorms, they become a little more widespread by 4 o'clock, and by 7, a few left, but they'll start to fade away. Put it all together for you. Warm, sticky through Friday, some temperature relief into the weekend. Low temperatures as cool as 64 by Monday morning, but just seeing highs in the 80s once again is a pleasant sight.
Thank you, Kevin. Health concerns are growing as parts of downtown Indianapolis are dealing with trash and waste all over the place. Working for WRTV6's Megan Singtorum shows us what's happening and what's being done to keep those areas clean.
Business owners at City Market tell us most mornings look like this. Trash everywhere. Maintenance crews left to clean the mess each and every day. But even after that, problems persist.
I've been seeing a bunch of drug deals, human feces.
Large crowds congregating, our cameras even capturing open drug use and possible drug deals.
I've had clients cancel because they said they drove around looking for parking and they thought it looked so disgusting. They said, sorry, we love you, but we can't come in there.
Brenda Barrett owns Jack's Barber Shop at City Market, but some business owners on the Circle say they're dealing with the same thing.
Drugs, fighting, sexual solicitation, it's nonstop, no matter what.
Charles Jones owns Road Dogs hot dog stand. He didn't even open for business today.
It was so bad. Listen to me, guys. It was so bad that I just had to take a day off.
Leaders with IMPD say they are aware of the issue. They're increasing patrols and asking business owners to do their part as well.
Better lighting, better marking, more security. Because as police officers, we can't be everywhere at one time.
They think the pandemic has led to the closure of some resources the homeless population often uses, and that could be a contributing factor. They say officers are working with some of those people to get them the help they might need. IMPD says downtown is still a safe place to be.
I think for some folks, it's the optics, right? You get out of your car, you see the trash, you see a lot of folks sitting around. That doesn't mean that there's been any uptick in the violence there.
But some business owners say more needs to be done.
We need to be proactive about the situation versus waiting for the last minute for something to happen.
Working for you, Megan Singtorum, RTV6.
IndyCar, NASCAR teaming up for the first time at IMS. The three-race scheduled game together as planned over the weekend. Now the focus turns toward August. Brad Brown has a look back at how it all went down inside the Speedway in tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight.
It's the day after a race weekend here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's not often we get a chance to come here to the corner of 16th and Georgetown and just ponder what we have seen, but this was, of course, a weekend unlike any other that we have seen here at the Speedway. But from the moment you drove in or walked into the grounds this weekend, it was clear that there was something new, something fresh about this place. The lawn's new. The grass looks amazing. They tell us 4,000 gallons of paint had been put on surfaces and 400,000 square feet of asphalt had been paved. Once the racing got started, though, there was something very familiar about that. It started off with Saturday's IndyCar Grand Prix. When Scott Dixon made a pass for the lead on lap 48, you kind of felt like, well, that day was going to be belonging to the number 9 team once again. Dixon cruised to a 22nd victory, his second straight to start the season, and it looks like he might be the guy to beat in 2020.
It's amazing to be able to pick up the first 2 wins of the season, you know, but it doesn't guarantee you anything, man. So, again, we'll just keep our head down, and try and keep staying up front and trying to get some of these points. And yeah, it's a great way to start, but again, it doesn't cement anything.
And a bonus for Scott Dixon, I suppose. He gets to be the first to ride that new lift atop Victory Circle. That'll become another tradition for the champions going forward here at the Speedway. Speaking of improvements, we got a chance to look around a little bit of the place this week, and I can tell you that the restrooms have been improved. Gentlemen, specifically, you'll be glad to know that the troughs are still in place. They are new, but your business will be tended to properly. The PA system has gotten some significant improvements as well. Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports. Yeah, and the music selection was improved also. Now, our Dave First was working over the weekend with the IndyCar radio team. He was down in it along pit lane and got a chance to get a look at one of the big improvements at one of the most popular places inside the middle of the speedway.
Wanted to give you guys an opportunity to see some of the changes that Roger Penske has made and laid out and planned ever since the announcement late last year. And one of them, new video boards. And at the base of the pagoda, you can see the biggest of the big new video screens.
NASCAR provided some drama with its Indy doubleheader as well, from Chase Briscoe's door-banging finish in the Xfinity Series race on Saturday to Denny Hamlin's heartbreak leading to Kevin Harvick's repeat in the Brickyard 400 on Sunday. A couple of guys climbing the fence to a quiet front stretch grandstand. So now with one race weekend under their belts, Roger Penske and the entire team here at IMS will continue the meticulous planning that's taking place to put fans in these stands for the Indy 500 on August 23rd. There will be a lot that goes into it over the course of the next several weeks, but hopefully when race day arrives, the roar of the cars will be joined by the roar of the fans right back here at the Brickyard. The countdown is on. At the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports.
It's just that easy.
Thunderstorms flare up and then fade away, all in about a 40-minute cycle. That will continue through about 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, and then all calm. Amanda?
Thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Join us again for the news right here at 7.